Hi, I'm Scott Spires. I'm the editor-in-chief, primary producer for a really small YouTube channel called Cleanandsoberstoner. And, you know, really, you've got to be asking yourself, what in the world does somebody with 530 something subs have to tell me about being on YouTube? Well, if you're asking that, then that's not who I'm making this for. I'm making this for my fellow creators who either just started within the past year or find themselves struggling. That's me and my girlfriend Julie, we formed Libella Inc. back in, 2022. This website, this YouTube channel was launched roughly January of 2023. And how it started was simple. We went and saw the band Elder, who is, like, to me, the ultimate band right now. We saw them at a small club in Raleigh, and I recorded footage of Jack Donovan, who's the bass player for the band, and they have this fan that was blowing his hair in the wind. It was actually really awesome. So I posted a short video of that a few months afterwards. I posted that. And an amazing thing happened in that I got like 100 views within an hour. And I'm just watching this. I just formed the channel. I didn't mean anything to come of it. And by the end of the night, we were at 300 or something. And I looked at my girlfriend, and our favorite phrase is, "Oh, there's a there." In the end, I think it's still probably one of my best performing shorts. And it told me a couple things. One, there is an audience for this kind of content. Having Jack Donovan from Elder, who I would think would be obscure, a lot of people found that sucker. So in a lot of ways, the Clean and Sober Stoner YouTube channel was born. I need to explain, Clean and Sober Stoner is actually a blog that I have. It's doing fairly well. I'm a member of what's called the Dune Charts. Through this process, I have met so many people. I now have 5 writers on cleanandsoberstoner.com, and it's about to be 7 writers on cleanandsoberstoner.com. So that part's doing really well, but I think the future is YouTube. I watch 90% of my content is on YouTube. I get my news on YouTube. I get my entertainment on YouTube. Anything that I want to do, that I want to find, generally my go-to is YouTube. And for a boomer, hey, that's pretty good. I'm even in that demographic who watches YouTube on a 55-inch television. Sometimes we watch YouTube on a 100-inch projector that we have in the room next door to this. So I love YouTube. I am all about YouTube. I know that the future is YouTube, short media content, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, unless Congress decides to make TikTok illegal. Despite all the other issues we have, they're going to get to. Anyway, I started out my blog was political. I quickly pivoted away from that. So in January of last year, we're doing well on the blog, but I can put a video up and in some cases have a few thousand people watch it, whereas on the blog, I'll get a few thousand people, but it's over time. To me, YouTube is kind of the future. Unless something else comes along that's better than YouTube, this is where I'm at. This is I'm home. So here's the thing about the first year in YouTube. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I have a master's degree in addiction psychology, and I actually put in a year for a PhD program that I dropped out of because hashtag I want to have a life. Besides, I'm old. By the time I would graduate with my PhD, I'd be in my 60s with $140,000 debt, so I didn't do it. Anyway, I've done a lot of hard stuff. I've been a program director at a methadone clinic. I have worked on base at Camp Lejeune as a counselor. I have worked harm reduction. I have been frontline harm reduction in my career. Here's a little secret. YouTube is the hardest thing I've ever done. Nothing else compares to the learning experience, the learning curve, the frustration, the heartbreak, the dreams, and the aspirations of YouTube. This is brutal. I started with like 15 people. We all took a course from somebody who's famous for doing courses. I won't say who. 15 of us started our YouTube channels. I'm the only one left. And it was rough goings. Here's some video footage, of my first go around. I was trying to use ScreenFlow, which is wonderful for creating courses. I was trying to use ScreenFlow as the recording medium. So my edit, as you can see, I'm here in this little square. Horrible. Heck, to be fully honest, a couple times, I didn't get audio because with ScreenFlow, you have to make sure that you press record computer audio for the other person. It was so much. The learning curve was so much. After a while, we knew that we had to invest in gear. So we got this nice, fancy little camera. This is the Sony ZV-1 that I'm using. Nothing too expensive, nothing outrageous. So then we get the camera. We had to get this. This is just a Rode. I don't know the model, but it's a Rode USB. Plugs right into my MacBook Pro, which I had bought beforehand, but I can't even imagine doing this without my MacBook. And then it became the lights, and then I needed a second monitor, and then I needed to worry about the backlights. And see, I can capture that as one of those goofy, smarmy YouTube things where they changed the YouTube algorithm. That's the other thing about being on YouTube. Where do you go to find information on how to effectively run YouTube? You go to YouTube. And there are a countless number of people who are making a really good living. Because I see those numbers, 100,000, 200,000. Heck, some of them are getting 20,000, where if I were getting 20,000, I'd be in heaven. How to do YouTube, how to pay attention to the algorithm, what are the best things to do, what kind of intro should you have. Oh, and by the way, YouTube people who are doing the tech stuff, they tend to speak at about this rate, so you have to really, really slow it down, or you have to pause. And I swear to God, the reason that they do that is so that they get repetitive views, so that it builds their numbers up. Yeah, I know. You can slow it down, but seriously, and they have the most dramatic, they have the most dramatic thumbnails. There's one guy, actually, hold on. So there's one guy, he's got the baseball cap, it's on backwards, and every single one of his thumbnails is like, yeah, if you're new to YouTube and you're a new creator like me, or you're a small creator like me, you're going to end up watching people like that. And I have one word of advice. It's not really a word, it's a sound. Are you ready? Anybody who has exaggerated claims or is making this whole thing super dramatic, word of advice from a very small YouTuber to the rest of you out there, ignore them. They do not have your best interest at heart. Now, this dude that I'm making fun of, he might. I don't have anything against him personally, but man, there are a lot of stuff out there. I mean, I shouldn't even start down this rabbit hole because I'm also a certified life coach. My profession, I'm an addiction counselor, teacher, and clinical supervisor. This is my side gig, except it's really not. And you got to watch to the end, and I'll tell you really how I make a steady income on YouTube. Hint, it's not with 530 something subs. And I think I have like 1,000 total hours. I digress. I'm all over the place, but so is YouTube. If you're jumping down the YouTube rabbit hole, Good luck. There are a few people I trust. I'm not ready to endorse them because this is my message to you. YouTube, this does suck. It is like anything else you have to do in life. You have to make that mistake. I took bass lessons from a master bassist named Anthony Wellington, and this isn't original for Anthony, but he points out the difference between someone who's mastered something and someone who's starting out is the master has made 10,000 mistakes. So far, I'm only up to 928 mistakes that I've been able to count. I still have like 9,000 something to go. Don't be afraid and don't quit. There's a lot about YouTube. I think the biggest one that I've had to get adjusted to is editing me. See, these little affectations, like when I go, that comes from my dad. He did it and it drove me nuts. So I have to spend a few hours editing a video where I'm going, I hate it. It's horrible. And oh yeah, that's the other one. You know, the scratch the eye is like Fantano from Needle. He doesn't even care. He'll be in the middle of a review and he'll just love Fantano. Watch him. Don't watch YouTube instructional videos. Watch them, but don't get obsessed with them. If you really want to master this here YouTube thing, the needle drop Anthony Fantano is great. Another one that I think is absolutely indispensable is Finn McGinty and his punk rock MBA. They haven't spent thousands of dollars on the equipment. They don't have fancy edits. They're not trying to be Mr. Beast, but take a look at their numbers. Take a look at their consistency. They've been doing great. They've been killing it. So get used to seeing yourself. Get used to going, oh my God, I talk like I have marbles in my mouth, which, by the way, do you know why I sound like I talk like I have marbles in my mouth? It's because I have marbles in my mouth. It's just how it is. Give yourself time. Post that sucker. If you have an idea right now on YouTube, I want you to post it. And not only that, if you have something to go on YouTube and you haven't done it yet, put a link to it down here in the comments. I want to see it. I want to support you. Too many of us give up. I think this is an extraordinarily successful YouTube channel. Why do I say that? It's simple. I'm still here. I'm still making content. I have plans. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about YouTube. I've learned about what to do, what not to do. And I am totally prepared for every single bit of that to be wrong and do another pivot. I am more in love with YouTube now than I was when I first started. Look, if nothing else, do you have any idea how many bands I've gotten to know since I went on YouTube? As a writer, I met quite a few, and it was great. But YouTube, are you kidding? It's like I've met bands. I talk to labels. Like go to my main page if you're interested in heavy rock or underground. I've had labels on as guests. I've had Mike Scheit from Yob. I mean, it only has 100 and maybe 170 views. I got to talk to Mike Scheit from Yob. That's priceless. He's one of my heroes. So the benefits of YouTube is you're part of the YouTube community and you get to meet other people who have aspirations. I'm lucky because I'm a new YouTube channel and I focus almost exclusively on new bands. We're in this together. And even though I'm sitting in this room all alone, I'm not really all alone. I have about 100, 200 people that watch my stuff regularly. We chat with each other all the time. We reach out on. It is such a rewarding experience to meet a band like Snake Mother and be on a first name basis with them and be chatting with them like once a week. It's priceless. And other bands would include Red Mesa. Gosh, I don't want to bore you. I don't want to name drop. It's been extremely rewarding being on here. So yeah, you're going to have to see yourself like for sometimes 7 hours a day. And I can't edit out every single, okay, I used to spend 6 hours per half-hour video just going through and getting rid of the ums. It's exasperating. Everything about you that bothers the people that you love, you're going to see them, and you're going to see them in real time. And it's really humbling. Stick with it, make your mistake, learn from it, and keep on going. Now, how do I make a full-time income in YouTube? Well, let me tell you. Because I have experience as a reviewer and a writer, and I've learned a few things about YouTube, I now work for Base Gear Magazine. I'm mostly behind the scenes, and I help with editing. I help with uploading onto YouTube, and it's just this wonderful experience. And go to Base Gear Magazine. The people I'm working with over there include Dan Veal, the bass player, Sean Fairchild, known as the Combinator, and boy, do we have things coming up. I'm not going to say I'm going to retire on the income, but I have steady stream of income coming in because I took the chance, because I'm on here, because I'm a writer. Follow your dreams. Really, that's what this whole thing comes down to. I just want to say thank you to the YouTube community, and I really want to give a little bit of encouragement to those of you that are on the fence, could I, should I, whatever, because those 15 other people that quit before me, they were wonderful. They'd be killing it right now if they would have stayed. But it's hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. And there's a lot of people who are going to distract you with this theory, that theory, tags matter, tags don't matter, SEO. You'll learn. You'll learn in time. Just stick with it. And in the meantime, enjoy your YouTube adventure. If you are interested in any like of the music that I cover or my goofy antics or whatever, please hang around, subscribe. We have a lot more coming. I've actually brought on another YouTube person to help with it. So it's growing. It's not all about monetization. It's not all about your subscriber growth. I think what it's really about is, are you doing what you really want to do? And if this is something you really want to do, we really need you to do it. And that's it for now. I'm sure I'll have more things like this as time goes along, but I really appreciate you clicking. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. And this is Scott Spires, the Clean and Sober Stoner, saying, dude,